जयपुर वाया कोटा।
कृपया ध्यान आपो अहमदाबाद
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत.
Lucknow Junction.
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವರೈ
পরবর্তী স্টেশন নেতাজি ভবন। कृपया ध्यान दियो।
Punjab have a high mountain to climb at Dharamshala because of what the Delhi batters have put up. Welcome back to Cricbuzz Live. I'm Saiyami. I have Joy and Lisa with me. Joy, high altitude, high attitude batting by Delhi there.
Absolutely. They brought their A game to the table. Fantastic hitting, and everyone has contributed down the park. The lowest strike rate is 142. Everything else is 148, 185, 221. Everyone's come to the party and they finished with a flourish. It's not going to be an easy chase. I mean, the ground is small, conditions are high, but 213 is 213.
Too steep, you feel, Lisa?
It depends on what the top order does in that power play. I think that's really crucial. And if someone like the experience of Shikhar Dhawan can actually kind of hold the innings together, there's enough firepower around it. But they all have to go at that rate.
Yeah.
So scoreboard pressure is going to count for a lot.
You know, you said everyone performed in that batting card, but one name every Indian will be very happy to see is Prithvi Shaw. He's got his first 50 in a really long time, so he's going to be very happy, and he looked very good today.
Yeah, he looked very good. He didn't look good the first couple of overs.
Yes.
He was really struggling, you know. Ball from Rabada cut him in half. Then he got hit a couple of times, looked tentative against the short ball. But then he got one ball pitched up to him, which he whacked for a six, and immediately everything changed. And I think that's the thing with people like Prithvi. They're very confidence players. They need to see ball disappear from their bat for them to go. After that, he was hitting it from all parts of the ground. And I think that's the strength of Prithvi, that his hand-eye is so good that if he's in, if he's seeing the ball and he's feeling confident, he's a very difficult batsman to stop.
But Lisa, this is that kind of a pitch, right? Where if you saw Prithvi, you see a Warner, a Russo or a Salt, they all like the ball coming on. They like it coming high. So it was a pitch perfectly suited for the Delhi, well, not the home team, that's Delhi.
Yeah, they were probably thinking, where was this ground for us in Delhi? Like, please, why were we getting ones that were turning and low? And yeah, all of those type of players that in that Delhi top order just love ball coming onto bat. Yeah, at the start it was hard, you know, but as soon as we heard Simon Dull say, as soon as the lacquer comes off of the kookaburra, then it doesn't, there's not that steep bounce that troubles batters. Yes, there's extra bounce, but extra pace as well, which means the ball flies even if you don't get it out of the middle of the bat. So it was almost the perfect ground for these guys who want to play with freedom. It allowed them to do that and enjoy their cricket. And just on Prithvi Shaw, I think really good innings. Takes some courage to have such poor form, be sitting there game after game, cameras on, commentators talking about you, and then to get your one opportunity and to be able to do it. You know, there was a nice punch down the ground. I thought, okay, he's been working on his balance, his hands, positions, all those little things that actually mount up to you being able to do your job out in the middle, and he looked good.
He looked good, and even Riley Russo looked great because he was somebody who's not well performed at what everyone expected him to, 82 of 37 and a strike rate of 221.
Yeah, see, Riley Russo is an interesting case because he's been doing it everywhere in the world. The only place that he hasn't had success is the IPL. And he's not been picked either, and now finally he's got picked. He showed a little bit of his class early up, and then he's disappeared. And now that he's back again, he's a destructive batsman at the international level, whether at the PSL, South African League, everywhere he gets runs. And he just showed us what he can do, because the great thing about Riley is that he is a conventional batsman. You're not going to see too many trick shots, but he's so good and his timing is so good, his positioning is so good, and he moves he gets into position really fast, which means he can hit it wherever. In fact, in the last over, there was a ball, if you see, fired down by Harpreet down the leg side, you know, trying to get a stumping. And he managed to not only get to it, got enough on the bat to, you know, take it for four as well. So it tells you that there's a great deal of balance and there's a great deal of positioning that he has.
You know, there was one we were watching the game down when everyone was eating, and we saw a little clip of Saurav Ganguly was talking. He looked very happy and animated. It almost looked like he was saying, let's get this as a home ground the next
Maybe that's the conversation that they're having. But it looked like they were happy, and maybe a discussion or a thought that they had, away, all of a sudden came to fruition, and it was like, hey, we still got it, eh?
Talking of thoughts, there was one thought that I didn't understand, and since I have a Hall of Fame spinner next to me, I want to know, why was Harpreet Brar bowling that last over when Arshdeep and Rabada were there? Poor kid went for 23, I think, in that last over? 23 in that last over. And, I mean, against a left-hand batsman, you can see that the ends have changed. What was that overall about?
Oh, I've got no idea, especially because Riley Russo was on strike. So sometimes you take a bit of a gamble and you go, well, maybe I can get a couple of dots on the right-hander. But Riley Russo was on strike, wasn't he, for the first ball? So I think that's something that, they'll talk about. TB will say, now if we were to go back in time, Shikhar, would you actually bowl him again? I'd like to think that his answer.
And he came in really late. He came in, I think, the 16th over. Was the first over he bowled.
Because Riley Russo was there. So it made sense to kind of, we don't want to expose
But then get him into the last over. So you don't get him in between the 11th to the 16th, 17th over, and then you get him to bowl the last. Joy, you think... sorry?
Pagal. Crazy.
Used to Pommy doing the Hindi bit, so when Lisa came up with it, I was wondering where that's going.
Sorry, what? Did she actually
say that?
in Hindi?
With Pommy, you're always on your toes with some new language that's going to be thrown at you. But Joy, you think Shikhar has missed a few tricks this game? This has happened before as well, when his captaincy was questioned a little bit with regards to how he moved around his bowlers. Today, again, you feel that, well, Delhi was doing everything right, but this move of getting Harpreet Brar to the end was... Well,
see, Harpreet Brar comes in the 16th, bowls a really good over. Okay, bowls a really good over in the 16th. But you can still bowl an over in the 16th, is still okay. 18th and 20th to risk a left-arm spinner when there's still a left-hand batsman out there. The 18th, they got away with it again, 10. So 10 is something they would have taken under those circumstances, saying, okay, 10 at this stage. But then finally, you went to the last over and you gave it to him again. So I think they were just taking way too many chances. Because the 16th was successful, I think they went all the way through. And I mean, you have players like Arshdeep, they're specialists. It's their job to do it. Yeah. And if they don't do it, that's their problem. This is a pitch which has something for the ball. I mean...
Yeah, see, I find that sometimes with some captains, if there's too many options, it's like, you have a couple, you have a couple... You have a couple, you bowled poorly, I'm not going to bring you on. It's not your day today, I'll go to somewhere else. But if someone has 5 bowlers, well, you can't go anywhere else. If they've had a poor over, the great thing about bowling compared to batting is you can actually come back, right? Yep. And you can actually fix it and learn from it. So that's where I think, bowlers have an added advantage in the sense that they go, okay, right, I didn't get this right. I need my skipper to be backing me and I'll come back and do my job. So you have specialists that bowl death bowling, not a Harpreet Brar, right? Not on that type of pitch. So go to them, even if they've gone for a lot of runs. Surely you've got to go for more experience.
Yeah, Rabada, Arshdeep, and they're known death bowlers, And,
I was also feeling that if you put yourself in Arshdeep or Rabada's shoes, you feel like, all right, I've been paid for this job, and like your ego is going to get a little bruised to see that it's gone to.
Arshdeep finishes for India.
Yeah.
Arshdeep finishes for India, and he's bowled 2 overs and hasn't come back at the death. What do I have to say? I mean, you mean to say that 1 over you've lost total faith or confidence in him? I mean, he's your premier bowler. You've paid a lot of money for him in the auction. You believe he's a retention for you. And those are the questions that you have to ask. And I think sometimes players get very cute, captains get cute about it. Mind you, this is not the kind of thing Trevor Bayliss normally does.
No.
Because Trevor Bayliss' attitude, and I remember, because he used to say, okay, give it to the fast bowler, let him do his job. And you have a job.
Yeah.
Your job as a fast bowler.
But isn't that something that could be passed around when Trevor Bayliss probably saw the 16th over, then the 18th over? Is there not a message passed out saying that, okay, this is where you need to go?
So this is the thing. It's an interesting conversation that I have with so many different people from different sports. They go, hang on, basketball, rugby league, football, the coach actually does the play. And then the players execute it. But in cricket, as soon as you cross, it's the captain's voice that supersedes everything else. Now we've seen England with their little folders and the analysts kind of saying, hang on, we think that this might be the way you should go. But still it's a gut feel. You can't moneyball everything. There is an element of human feeling of, okay, I get a sense this is going to happen. So the trust is given to the captain. I think moving forward, and maybe, if we get to more T20 cricket or T10, maybe we'll start to see the actual coach
Managers,
running out plays for a certain over or something like that.
It was, in fact, lots of them want to do it. You're right, England's trying to do it. And look, the truth is, in no other sport does a captain have as important a part as in cricket. Because literally he controls the game in cricket in the fieldings. Still when the batting side is there, he's there, the captain is there, the coach, everyone is sitting out there to send messages out. But literally, otherwise, the control, and that's why captains become huge in importance, In most of the time, we don't even know who the captain of a football team is, because it doesn't matter who's wearing the armband. We'll give it to the most senior player. It doesn't matter. Give it to the most inspirational player. But he's not thinking out there. I mean, it's a coach who's put a formation together and they're executing that. So, look, I tend to believe we're going to go that way. And I tend to believe we need to also, because there's now so much technology in this sport that if you want to fully exploit the technology, you must be able to hear from outside.
Well, you had said that the captain needs to control. So will the captain control with the batting? Because they would want Shikhar Dhawan to come out and, be in complete charge. Livingston is someone who'd love to play on this pitch, but we will need that start from Shikhar Dhawan. I'm presuming a Prabh Simran will come in and open with him.
Yeah, and you'd think that those two will be the key for them. And I wouldn't be surprised if, like Liam Livingston, depending on how well hopefully they get off to a good start, he comes in, because he's the type of player that can play the same role that Riley Russo played. So they need almost a player like for like of Riley Russo, and to play that belligerent innings where, the strike rate is nice and high. I think this is a ground, and they've got the type of players that could really challenge. We could be in for an absolute humdinger of a game that goes down to the last over.
One more last ball.
Yeah, why not?
Why not?
Yeah, my only thing is Delhi will be really glad they're playing somebody like Nokia on this pitch.
Yes.
Because though he can go, he's also capable of knocking over a few. If you remember what we said at the start of the game, that this is not a place you can defend.
Yes.
You've got to take wickets. So when wickets did not fall, they just could not defend. And that's exactly what's going to be. It's Nokia's crucial up front. He goes there, knocks over a couple, knocks over Shikhar, knocks over... Things will change immediately.
Someone who's knocking over a lot of people is Ishant Sharma. So he's somebody also that I guess Delhi will be looking forward to, because he has gotten wickets early on. We see his numbers here. He's played 7 matches and got 8 wickets. So lot riding on Ishant Sharma's shoulders.
Yeah, good price as well. Cheap.
Exactly.
Cheap as chips, right? So you can... the thing is that, and we saw early on in the first innings, the extra bounce that was being able to create. Ishant Sharma, whilst he hasn't got the pace, he does have that bounce.
Yeah,
so that's the variability that he has, and the little X factor. So sometimes it's not always about pace, but if he can get the ball in the right areas, which he has been, he could certainly pick up some wickets in the power play. And we saw him actually in the last game. He picked up a few wickets in different phases as well. I don't think this is a ground that you experiment with him. I think you use all of his overs as much as you want up front. Then let the other guys go at the back end.
Well, he has been worth the money entirely. Ricky Ponting actually said in one of their podcasts that they were not really expecting, they got Ishant Sharma, but they didn't really expect to play him so much, and how he's just, really surprised everyone, and his presence, in fact, has been very inspirational for the rest of the bowling unit.
I think they'll all help, because, somebody like a Mukesh Kumar, Khalil Ahmed, being with Ishant, done it all. And exactly, Ishant doesn't have the pace, but Ishant is also not competing with them. He's competing with himself to play at a different level. He's in a very good place mentally. He's very calm. He's very happy with where he is in life. So he's giving you, this is vintage bowling. It's a pro who knows all the tricks in the game. Most importantly, one of the big things with bowlers is knowing what you're capable of doing. And I think Ishant now knows, this is what I can do, this is how I can contribute. And he does it so well.
Well, we have a look at the subs list, because Prabh Simran should make it in. And for Delhi,
Look, Mukesh Kumar bowled well the last match, so I expect Mukesh Kumar will come in because on this pitch, probably I think Praveen Dubey is a spinner, so really, though they might try Praveen Dubey, but Mukesh is likely to be their pick under the circumstances. Or they could see a couple of overs and figure which way they can want to
Yeah, because Prab Simran's in. I don't think Delhi's called their sub player in.
Yeah, of course, I don't see them wanting to have Prithvi fielding for too long.
No, probably not.
Yeah, he's done his job for the day, I guess. They'll say now you can sit
But
back.
it'd be good if he could spend a bit more time out in the field.
I totally
think he'll
agree.
be-
I absolutely
I think he'll
totally
be
agree. For his
very
sake.
yeah
His confidence, his,
For his
I think every young
development.
player would want to, yeah.
for his development. He has.
Well, we have, like we said, it's a team game. So even if Cricbuzz English didn't get it right, Cricbuzz Hindi got it right. So we can take it for the team.
Well done.
We can take it for the team.
Who got it? Gaurav got it. I
No, I think Saviru got it.
Yeah.
think. Okay.
Viru had 213.
Oh,
He was on
brilliant.
there, yeah. All right, so we'll go for it
Ah,
again.
come on, English.
Come on,
We're not
Cricbuzz English.
competitive at all. All right. I'm going to go 52.
52.
Okay, 71.
Ooh,
Why not?
I was expecting to go somewhere in the 60s. I'll go with 64. 51?
52.
52, 64 and 71. Joy Bhattacharya has gone high because they are playing in Dharamshala, so he's taken his numbers high. That's all for now. We're going to have our dinner, but you all don't forget to join us at the 10-hour point at the Cricbuzz Combox.
Jaipur via Kota.
कृपया ध्यान आपको अहमदाबाद
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत
Lucknow Junction.
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವರೆ
Hyderabad Punjab Express Polobosi Station Netaji Bhavan